Tara, my chicks dig it. Use the code T-HAND at checkout to unlock 10% savings on all Grub Terra products. Hey everybody, T-HAND 141 Homestead. This is Tracy, the one, the only, thank God, or so says my mother. How y'all doing tonight? Tonight, we are going to be talking about escape plans. What if you have, hey Jamie, what if you have to pack up and leave your homestead? And this comes from real world events, believe it or not. Just yesterday, I believe it was, or the other day. Oh, what's the name of that homestead? Oh, bugger. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? Your trademark? What? Really? Oh, you're first. Okay, I got it. Hey, Mark, how's it going? I believe it's accidental. The accidental homestead was just recently evacuated from their homestead, and they were able to get the turkeys into the vehicle and some of the smaller animals and stuff, but some of the other ones, they just had to open the pens up and let them go. And this is also awfully close to Ren's homestead with Jack and Lindsay. And oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. I know her name, their daughter. She's as cute as a peach. Oh, awesome. That's great. Yes, I just got an email. If there's someone out there who won something from the big monetization celebration, and you haven't sent me your address, mailing address, you can email that to me today. You just go to my about, and my email address is on my about page. If you haven't got that, I am still in the process of each of my animals have cage and a med kit I would pack. Nice. It's something that, because that's something that might be a little bit different for us than for a normal prepper. Preppers, they prepare, and at some point, a prepper, in my opinion, will hit the they'll hit a spot where they say, okay, my preps are complete. I am going to go, I don't need to store up anymore for now. I just rotate my stock a little bit and I'll be good. A homesteader, our preps are never done because we are prepping and using our pantry. It might be full, but it's rotating constantly because we're living from it. And that gives us kind of the best of both worlds. Hopefully, God willing, you never have to go through your pantry and throw stuff out and say, oh, this is outdated. Oh, this is outdated. This said it was good for 25 years, but it's not any good anymore, Okay, Becca makes them, and that family emergencies, you gotta understand that. Yeah, you're building, Mark, aren't you? I can believe it. I need to start ordering the stuff for me to be believed. Yeah, freeze dryers do a lot, and they store for a long time. They really do well. The thing is most homesteads, the easiest way to store vegetables is on a plant. Now, that's short term, of course, but the best way overall to store meat is on the hoof. I don't know if there are any vegetarians or vegans in the audience. If so, trigger warning. But yeah, the best way to store meat is on the hoof. It'll never be fresher than it is on the hoof. Hey, Life in the Valley. And the problem is if I was facing a wildfire at this point right now, if I was facing a wildfire, I don't think I would have it so much at my property line. I think by the time it hits my property line, because I live in a wooded area, it's going to jump the property line. Whew, got to turn that fan a little bit. I wonder if I put that down. Will that... I don't know what's going on with my lighting. I'm going to get a better light. I am. My promise to you, with the tens of dollars that I'm making from YouTube, I will buy a new light. Oh, nice, Alyssa. Hi. You have to store water to go with the freeze-dried foods. If you don't have safe water, yeah, that is true. That is true. On April 1st, 2019, I believe it was what is it? The far Danny and his wife, not Southern Blessed Homestead, Far South Homestead. They, on April 1st of 2019, they did a video. They released a video on how to can water. And all you have to do, you can it up, add the water up, you can it, and then all you have to do when it comes out, when you go to use it, is rehydrate it. And it works great. I've tried it 2 or 3 times. I have a premier canny. I can't keep a straight face. Tammy's probably like, can water? Rehydrate it. Well, you fill the jars up with water, and you boil them until all the water has dehydrated, and then you can them the same way you would can anything. And then when you open the can, you just add water to use it. Problem is, with the price of feed going up, it might be better to process what you can no longer feed. That's true. That's true. The I would say that my issue, when an animal is ready, when an animal that was purchased for harvest is ready, okay, it can be different for some people with chickens and goats and dairy goats and even dairy cows. They're not purchased for butcher. But when an animal is purchased with butcher, I would say stay the course. Um, if it starts getting too expensive, then you can butcher a little early, and there is a point where it makes sense to butcher early, but um but then uh the feed, I have to take into account some of the stuff that is going on with the current meat situation in the United States, and I dare say North America. And if it's going on here, then if it happens here, it happens everywhere. More than likely. Have you seen in the stores when you go to purchase chicken, you might see a sticker that says antibiotic free? Well, guys, think about that for a moment. You don't raise 5,000 chickens in a warehouse style barn all together and not treat for diseases that might come up. And chickens are prone to a lot of diseases when they're crowded in. So what they started doing years ago in poultry is my understanding. You can look this up and check it out. In fact, I encourage you to do so. Let me know what you find out. That's how I learn. But they started with the MNRA vaccines in poultry years ago. So they can honestly tell you there are no antibiotics used in the raising of this meat. Nope. And now, the last several years, they have actually figured out a way where the MNRA vaccines, they're not vaccines. I don't like calling them that. Chemicals, okay? Because what an MNRA, it simulates it simulates the bad germ or virus, and it changes, literally changes the RNA, the DNA. It's the subcategory of DNA, but it literally changes that a little bit. And but they've manufactured them now where if they give it the shot to a chicken, pig, beef, because now there's a lot of talk about doing it with beef and pork, it can be passed on to the eater. And you're saying, but Tracy, I cook a roast at 450 degrees for all day, or 250 degrees for all day. Blah, blah, blah. Well, they have figured out how to make these survive that and get it into you, so you're being vaccinated. They also are talking about doing it with vegetables and stuff like that. I say all that to say, storing on the hoof is probably your better way to go. I will eat the feed, the high expensive feed prices, rather than buy meat from a store. Now I will not buy beef from a store. I am lucky. I have my daughter and son-in-law have a farm that they have, I'm going to say, over 60 head now. so I can get safe meat. And pork, I raise my own pork. I have my and please, people, don't be offended. I am just half joking, tongue-in-cheek joking when I call my piglets bacon seeds. But that is their purpose in life, and they are going to have a great life all up until they serve that purpose. Many of the FD foods are good FD. Not all has to be, freeze-dried foods are, not all of them have to be rehydrated. That's true. In the Army, we had freeze-dried. It was actually really, really good. We would have freeze-dried fruit cocktail, and believe it or not, it was crunchy, but it was good. It had a really good flavor to it. But water is good to have, even if you don't have a freeze dryer. Absolutely. Listen, no matter where you are, if you are on a homestead, if you are in an apartment, I think this follows the line of our conversation tonight on evacing. No matter where you are, know where your resources are in your area. If you are making a plan, such as I have, to leave your area, if you have to, I'm a bug in guy. Okay, my plan is to bug in. I'm not bugging out. Okay, I am stand and defend it to, it. What's that they used to say? Where you defend it until you're dead, basically. Die in place. I've had those orders before. But anyway, I didn't follow them. Yes, you can water. Yes, you can. You literally can water. And I was talking last night. I was on a live stream, and I found out that if you take stale water, because water doesn't go bad, but it can go stale, and you shake it up and reoxygenate it, it will gain a lot of its flavor back. Because I have had water that tasted flat before. My canned water never has to be rehydrated. I guess I have a better process. Well, notice I said it was, the video was released on April 1st. It's National Atheist Day. I'm sorry. It's National April Fool's Day, April 1st. And Dehydrating Water was the title of that. It was just hilarious. He went through the whole thing with a straight face, and I don't know how he could do it. About dehydrating water, and then you just have to redo it. Well, a lot of farmers are getting letters to kill their crops for like $1,300 an acre, or cash it in and lose 30 cents a bushel. I believe it. Because you know what? It would be better. Grab my microphone here, because it's time to have that serious moment. It would be better that millions of people on planet Earth starve to death than we grow so much corn that it brings down the price of ethanol. Okay, that was tongue in cheek. That was a joke. But that's what's going on in it. Not a political channel, Tracy. Not a political channel. Sorry. But yeah, it's ridiculous to me $1,300 an acre, or cash it in and lose. At least the farmers can take what they need for the year before they kill their crops. You know, the Midwest, God bless our farmers, our we could feed the United States and Canada combined could feed the whole stinking world, people. But somebody would lose money. Anyway, that I can't get down no rabbit hole for you. You will see stuff going up like crazy. Soon there will be no feed to be had. That is a possibility. Okay. On the preparing to evac, having an evac plan. Something else we need to prepare for. What happens? I free range my chickens. They still manage to eat. I have 17 birds left right now. And they still manage to eat 2 scoops of food a day. Okay, and I use feed from Bailey's Feed Mill. It's not the processed stuff. Hey, J&B. But what am I going to do? I cannot free range my chickens in the winter. Chickens are not made like quail, wild quail, or ruffled grouse or sage hen. They don't do well on their own when there's not a lot of food around. Okay. Our DNA is read DNA that is the light switch. It turns things on and off in the body, as well as writes code that sells copy. I want my cells to be duplicate of my cells, not rewritten. Absolutely. 100%. And I think it's really underhanded. You know what? If we limit it to a jab in the arm, I know I've at least told them I want that jab. If they put it in our food, you have no choice. Because right now, there's nothing saying how they have to mark it, or even if they have to mark it. And anyway. Absolutely. There are some awesome ways. Preserving food, going to farmers markets. Guys, I've had the last couple of years, I've had to go to farmers markets to buy stuff to preserve. Because my mom and my wife were sick one year. My wife died, and then the next like mid to late August to December, my mom was sick again. So I ended up having to go to farmers markets. You have to be careful. All right, Lynn, I hope you didn't get too overheated. I went outside, did the chores, did a couple other things, and then I came back inside, piddled on the computer, and before I knew it, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, the rich get richer. That is because the rich knew how to get rich, okay, or they understand money. See, they don't teach in school how money works. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. In most cases, some schools will. The poor guys, I never had anybody tell me this until I was already medically retired. You'll never get rich working for somebody else. You'll never have a good lifestyle working for someone else. But you'll never have the best lifestyle working for someone else. But if you hustle and you work for it and you create the ability to do that, if you create, what do they call it? In-demand skills, electrician, plumber, whatever, then you will be able, because those skills are in demand, man, you would be able to. Right now, my brother tried to get the gas company for my mom's furnace, tried to get the gas company to send out someone to fix her furnace last winter. I mean, this is when it was cold out, and they they sent this guy out after a bunch of convincing. They sent this guy out from, I think, the other side of Syracuse. That's a long way. That's like a 2-hour drive to get to my mother's. And the guy screwed it all up. So then my brother, being my brother, and his negotiating style is, we don't negotiate with idiots, which is it's totally valid negotiating style. But he ended up ticking them off or whatever. And my understanding is he ended up having a hard time finding someone to come in and work on that furnace, because the only people in the area that were working on propane furnaces were people who had contracts with the propane companies. And if you did not have XYZ propane company, they could not work on your furnace. So any independent, what do they call it? HVAC technicians, John Van Loo, come up here, man. You'll make a mint. I mean, we don't get quite as hot as you get out there where you're at, I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't know. Today it's in the 90s. But when I was in school, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. When I was in school, I didn't have, every year I would have new clothes. One of my most memorable t-shirts was a Mr. Bubbles t-shirt. You know how my mom got it? It had the Mr. Bubbles on it. She sent in coupons, box tops. She couponed and box topped and special offer this and secret things that and coupons but I've never known hunger. I've been a rich man my whole life, man. Monetarily, nope, not so much. But I've never been poor. And even now, I pray to God it never is, but if everything I have is taken away, I still won't be poor. Anyway, evacuation plans and protein sources. I raise Catunix, quail, and koi as my protein sources. I have a vertical. That's awesome. That is awesome. And see, the wonderful thing about small animals like that is you can fit a bunch of them in a pet carrier and throw in the back of a sedan if you need to bug out. Okay. Now, with me, I have my cats. They'll go in the car. I have my chickens. They'll go in the car if I had to. It wouldn't be fun. I do not like to corral chickens. And good to see you, Red. I was just talking about you guys. You guys still safe from the forest fires? But and I have 3 piglets that right now will fit in the car. If not, we if they get too big to fit in the car and disaster comes, forest fire, whatever comes, I have access to Trevor's truck and a trailer that we take the pigs to market on, to freezer camp, the place that Rat prepares them for freezer camp. And therefore my animals will be taken care of. What if you have cows? 100%. I started my first company at 19, ground zero property maintenance. Nice. And you know what? People, it's funny. We have been, ever since I was in school, oh, you got to go to college and you can be the manager. I got an idea. Go to a tech school, learn all that cool stuff, put the work in for the first 10, 15 years, be the owner of whatever that property maintenance company, or whatever, be the owner instead of making someone else millions. In the process of starting Tom's Timber Services. Nice. Good luck to you guys on Tom's Timber Services. It's a tough market to get in nowadays. Well, getting in it's not a problem, but with all the environmental regulations and rules and stuff like that. But that is awesome. That is awesome. You keep 100% of the profit. You can reinvest it. Yeah, I understand. The richer poorer comment was due to the price. Yeah, I catch rabbit trails all the time. Please don't ever take offense. If anyone ever takes offense to anything I say, please email me, private message, direct message, or whatever, me, because chances are I said something that was not intended to offend, but well, in my case, it might have been just something stupid. So yeah. The price of corn and the price of feed, it's all going up. And guys, we have got to think about this stuff. What happens if my pension disappears? What do I do? How do I keep my land? Okay. Right now, apparently, the town that I live in they've raised everybody's taxes and there's a big hoodoo over it. And I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I've heard it's because the town wants a helicopter. Guys, this is a town of maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people, but a township, and it's a big town. I mean, it's scattered. There are more cows than people in this township. Okay. It's a beautiful township. I love it. And if it's not about a helicopter, whatever. But I just think that, I don't know, their prices are going up. And what happens? The fire, the wildfire that the accidental homestead is going through, the physical danger, physical crises are not the only thing that can make you have to evacuate or cause you problems on a homestead. What if the finances dry up? Now it's a scary thought. Have a backup plan. I'm moving to Ren's farmstead or Ren's homestead. That's what I'm doing, because they have the cutest little piggly wigglies. And oh my goodness, Jack or Lindsay, I cannot remember your daughter's name. Her face, I was watching your video, some of your shorts today, and I cannot remember her name. Please forgive me. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's really there. Yeah, you could make a wagon. That would work. And the important thing is being in an apartment. Know the resources that are in your area. Okay, things are going bad. What do I need? I need water. Where can I find water? Well, on top of building such and such, there's a water tank. On top of building such and such, there's a water tank. There's a creek that runs under such and such road. The back of toilets. The back of toilets is clean, by the way, just to let you know, unless they put those wafers and stuff like that. I'm doing an experiment. Oh, I'm excited to tell you guys about this. I saw it on YouTube. All safe in your area. Praise God. That is awesome. And going down with this, Dave Knight's going down with the ship. Very nice. Very nice. But I bought a thing of toothpaste. I think it's like AIM toothpaste, fluoride toothpaste anyway. And you cut the corners off the flat end so that water will have access. And you poke holes in it with a needle and you put it in the back tank. And it's supposed to take away the calcium and lime and mineral deposits in the bottom of the toilet. Because I have extreme hard water. And guys, I think it's working. I really do. I'm working on that. It might be a short or something, but I think it's working. If I have to leave, I have my off-grid camper that can be towed 3 different ways, along with 4 different ways of pulling it from a mechanical diesel. Nice. Backups to backups. I have got to get my big generator fixed, because in the preparedness, even the homesteading lifestyle, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. If I go to start my big generator to do laundry in the middle of a deep, dark winter day and it won't start, I have to have a backup for that, or that 1 was none. The 2, if 1 breaks down, you have 1. So you always count worst case scenario, and 2 is 1, 1 is none. Backups for backups. Or old points and condenser injection instead of ECU, instead of an EMP. I learned my lesson last year. My truck got hit by lightning Friday. Oh man, I am so sorry to hear about that. Yeah, guys, I will look it up. There is a place that I found that has, because funny thing is an EMP, which is less likely, works in the same way that a bolt of lightning does. Most of you probably already know this. It overcharges the pathways, the electronics. It overpowers, sends a power surge through them. Electromagnetic pulse sends a power surge through them, which toasts everything. And but they have lightning protectors, and they work for EMP that you can plug into your car. They have lightning protectors. The one for that would be the right for my solar panels, my solar system, because I am off grid here. is going to be about $300 to $400. I need to get one. And what it does, and this is just an overview, this is not technical, this is not gospel. I am not an electrician and I do not play one on TV. But it takes that energy and absorbs it so that it doesn't go into your system to fry your system. Dave Knight going down with the ship. I would expect nothing less, my friend. I would expect nothing less. And that's, yeah, die in place. I'm going down with the ship. I think I would evacuate my animals, but I'm gonna be the guy that that's got the hose running on the house until I run out of water. I never take offense. I have an open mind. Well, that's very, very good. You didn't know that? Yes. Oh, yes, I have piglets. In fact, tomorrow I am trying it. I took one of my action cams, and I've actually, it's sitting over there with paint drying on it because I marked it, because come to find out it's got a scratch on the lens after I filmed 9 hours of footage. And as I'm going through it, and it bugged me. If there's something on my videos that bugs you, chances are it bugged me first. But I took an action cam and I set it up in the pig pen and just filmed the piglets. And if the first video does well, then I might do another one. And then I edit it together because they weren't always in frame. And just, people can relax and watch the baby pigs, man. Baby bacon is cute. All right. They're all here now. Okay. My confession. Kenzie. I knew I would get it if I really needed to. Lindsay, Jack, and Kenzie. Oh, praise God. Now I wish I hadn't told you that I couldn't remember her name. I am so sorry, Kenzie. I am so sorry. Yeah, I could go to Canada. I don't know. Canada's an awful lot like New York, from what I've seen of it. I haven't seen a whole lot, but what I've seen of it, it's awful. You have better ATV and UTV trails. I know that for a fact. I live in Ava, New York. It's north of Rome, New York, which is little ways above the Thruway, on the southern tip of the Tug Hill Peninsula. Yeah, used to worrying about tornadoes. That's something my sisters. I have 3 sisters. One lives in Florida, one lives in Georgia, and one lives in North Carolina. And every year they run into, oh, here comes a hurricane. Oh, here comes a hurricane. Are we going to have to evacuate? Here in upstate New York, the weather gives you notice before it tries to kill you. You can prepare for it. That's right, Kenzie. Yes. And I didn't see that before. I really didn't see that. I really didn't see that. It was down below. Oh, my sweetheart Kenzie. She is the star of your videos, dude. The ones of her playing with the piglets and stuff. And then when you tell us that the conversation that you said you had about why, what was it? Why pigs couldn't come in the house, or was it frogs? Yeah, that was priceless. I mean, we let the dogs in the house. Just post it quick. Offensiveness. I was hoping the conversation would float to gender, religion, political ideologies, the role of government, abortion, police brutality, and race. Might not be a great agenda. No, that would be a wonderful agenda. I wouldn't be on YouTube very long. I will comment on the race issue since you bring it up and you're forcing me. Twist it. Let go of my arm, Jack. Let go of my arm. There is one race. It is the human race. Genetically, the Genome Project proved it. Actually proved the Bible timeline too, but we won't get into that. That would be touching on religion, which is all open for you guys, by the way. In the comments, you're welcome to talk pretty much however you want. If it gets, inciting violence or anything like that, that's different. But, you guys, the Constitution lives here. When I used to work in a store in the city, we had a really bad storm coming, and all these people were laughing at me and my preparedness, saying, well, my water comes out of the tap. And my heat comes from a building. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is hard to see how disconnected people are from their food. There are really people who think, why do you have to hunt? You don't have to kill an animal to eat meat. Just go to the grocery store and get it like everybody else. Why kill an animal? And I want to make the shirt so badly, but it's already been made and you can get it from an American Homestead. It says stupid should hurt. It's like, I don't think they should have that deer crossing there because, we should move the sign somewhere where there's less traffic. And just in case any of my urban friends, urban mentality friends, are watching, we put the deer signs where the deer are crossing already. We don't put the deer crossing signs there to tell the deer where to cross. Deer, to my knowledge, do not understand signs. You've watched Bambi too many times. But yeah. One thing we have in our advantage too, we have multiple properties across Ontario, all lakes or with springs. Oh man, I got to tell you, when we found this property, I looked at it and the guy had it posted. The guy that was selling it had it posted, and we walked the posted lines. And for the most part, we could tell that there was a distinct line. And then somewhere here in the middle, there was another line of posted signs that didn't seem to make sense with anything else. And I called the realtor. I said, if this is the property line, then I'll take the land. I'll take it, because there was a beautiful creek. Turns out the creek was just behind me and he had posted it wrongly. It was, I have seeps all over. My road is affectionately called Swamp Road to some of the locals. The other day at the gas station, I saw this amazing kitted out truck and stealth trailer. The best bug out setup I've seen. Nice. Yeah. If you're going to bug out, man, bug out in style. But just remember, making it to the freeway, making it to the highway is going to be your hardest part. I would do not wait until things get really bad to evacuate. Don't wait until the fire is at your property line. Don't don't wait, especially if you own, I own 20 acres, and if the fire's at my property line, then my tool shed's almost on fire then. But yeah, you want to make sure that if you have to evacuate, that you can get out. Fire the smoke jumpers, I don't know if they're all smoke jumpers, but the wildfire firefighters die. There are some that die almost every year because they got trapped behind the lines and the fire surrounded them. There was a good movie on that. What was the name of that? It was a movie made about a true event. Only one survived, and that was because he wasn't with his team. And there was a radio delay. And when the guy told him to drop the water on their position, there was a delay or whatever, and the plane dropped it like 100 yards past them, and it didn't help them. And the whole group, they covered up, but they still died. Problem is, you can only go so far on gas or diesel. Absolutely. There are limitations, and you need to know your limitations. At any given time, how far can you go on a tank of gas in your car? Okay, now depending upon where you live, if you live in an urban area or a suburbs or a more populated area, how long can you sit in traffic? Take that distance that you can drive. Like when I fill up my tank, I think it says on my Ford Escape, it says like 370 some miles, 360 some miles till empty. Okay, that's if I'm driving at normal speeds. I'm going to say you want to cut that down at least 1/3 if there are traffic jams. And in emergency situations, there are, because trust me, you are not the only one trying to get out of town if things get bad. You are not the only one. I love it. My brother, I love my brother. I love him to death. I'll hunt for food. And he's a good hunter, and he is an awesome tracker. But there's going to be something different when things go bad. There's going to be every Tom, Dick, Harry, Susie, Jill, and Janet out there hunting with you. And as large as the population, we're very fortunate in New York. The insurance companies rule New York, so we can take a lot of deer. And we have a good population of deer. But not to support every family in every town. Hey, how's it going, Peter? Hey, Learning Curve Acres, how's it going? Marcy. Yeah. So you need to realize that if you don't possess and control the resources that you have, okay, then you are going to be contending for those resources later on. Okay. If I don't have the Venison in the freezer and I have to go out and get my own venison, I'm going to have to compete for that venison with somebody else. Hunters are some of the most hunters are some of the most polite people you'll ever meet in your life. When I know my daughter or my granddaughter is home crying from stomach pains because she is hungry, my politeness ain't going to go very far, guys. I'm just, let's be real. Kenzie question, what plant in your garden do you have the most trouble with, and what are you most excited about growing? Tomatoes, I'm most excited about growing. This year I have the giant crimson. They used to be extinct, and the MI gardener brought them back, and I have I have 3 plants that I think might survive the whole transplant debacle. I'm very excited about growing them. What ones do I have the most trouble with? Mugwort. Mugwort is a weed, an invasive weed that, which means that it grows and it will take over an area. It's like strawberries. You plant strawberries, leave them for 3 or 4 years, they'll take over a whole garden. But mugwort is like that, and I have mugwort trying to get into my garden as it is. So that is the plant that I have the most trouble with. Root vegetables in my back to Eden garden, because the clay is so close to the surface. Oh, excuse me. And I'm trying to fix that. Hey, Remy's here. Belt Loop 29. How's it going? Good to see you. We're very light on escape routes that would influence on our decision to leave or not. If it came from the south, we'd probably fight. From the north or west, we got to go. Yeah. Now you can, well, I know you guys can. For the most part, I don't know how your property is. I'm trying to think how your property is set up. That's where long form content helps there, Lindsay. Because then I could maybe get a better idea of you can cut the trees, cut a swath back so that a wildfire wouldn't be able to get next to your house or your barn or whatever. You can design your landscape that way, and that way you wouldn't have to bug out. But that's not always possible, because you had property lines and stuff like that. But yeah, you've got to know your situation. What is going to happen if this happens? What is going to happen if this happens? Okay, wildfire coming at my door. What do I do? Boom, go. And run yourself through stuff like that. It's important. Guys, for years people said, oh, government's never gonna get too big. Oh, they'll never tell you what to do on your property. They'll never tell you. You know what? Bushcraft family, we were talking last night, and in all 50 states, in the continental United States, it is legal in each one of the states, in every state, to collect rainwater. However, it is so heavily regulated and controlled. Rainwater! What the nuts does the government have to control the rainwater? You know what's causing the droughts? It ain't the rain in the 900 gallons I got out along my house here from rainwater collection. It's the billions of gallons of water in warehouses. Now, by the way, New York does have an awesome recycling program. I get 5 cents back. I pay 5 cents per bottle extra, and I get my 5 cents back. So, but my water, I have extremely hard water, and it's a very shallow well, and I fight chlamydia. No. I am so sorry. Coliform. I fight coliform. Talk about yourselves. I'm so sorry for that. I do not fight with chlamydia. I fight with coliform. I shock my well with bleach and my tanks with bleach. And no, Remy, do not send me a shirt saying I fight with chlamydia. Oh my goodness. No. Coliform, which you can get from surface water because as the water runs over the roots and stuff towards the surface, that's where the bacteria and stuff is. So I have to treat for that. I have really hard water. Oh golly. Whew. I forgot what brought me into that. Oh goodness. Coliform is it's a bacteria that comes from surface water, basically. Yes, she does. Lindsay has the best piglet videos ever. I'm not even trying to be in the same category. The starlet Kenzie, she is so cute and playing with the piggly wigglies. I am in awe. Not to mention, guys, I don't know if you get a chance, watch some of Lindsay and Jack at Wren's Homestead. Watch some of their long form content. Their videography is fantastic. They work hard on putting their videos together, and they do a really good job. Let's see, Vase Place. How far back am I? 6:44. Oh wow, I'm like 20 minutes behind. My sister lives in Canada, just a few miles from the state of Washington. Nice. I am actually an honorary Canadian. That's no joke. I got the T-shirt to prove it. I was more worried about getting back into the States than I was being allowed into Canada. Always a pleasure, Peter. That's not for me. Getting your lights in right at YouTube, please. Let's see, the bad tornado that hit Bari in 1987, maybe 88, started right across the road from our last place. Our neighbor. Wow. I am so glad you guys are okay. Tornadoes are nothing to mess around with. Southern Ontario definitely resembles New York State. It changes a lot when you get a bit north or into Quebec or beyond. New Brunswick is the best, though. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, we even have, like, you guys have the Canadian Shield with the rock outcroppings and stuff, and we have similar in various places. It's just not that where I live, we don't have it as much, but you guys have your ATV and UTV trails, side by side trails are so much better than ours. Let's see. We saw 3 tornadoes start while living there. So scary. You really can't. No. All you can do is hide, and hopefully, I mean, technologies come. They can kind of prepare you and say, okay, there might be a tornado, but if it's pitch black, something tells me tornadoes aren't very lit, you know. Feeding the animals. Okay, Remy is feeding the animals. Oh, wow, I am way behind. Both frogs and pigs, and a friend of ours has a house pig, so now she knows it's a thing. But those are special pigs. You're going to have to get her a pot belly. Where, quite honestly, there are people who think meat comes from a store. Literally, they think that the butcher mixes up a batch of steak. It's a good thing and a bad thing that we are so disconnected from our food source. I do not have to feel, unlike certain sociopaths that may or may not be in my audience, every time an animal dies on or off the homestead, whether I'm hunting, I feel that pang of oh wow, I took a life. And I don't have to feel that when I buy it from the store or from my daughters either. So disconnected, and then they somehow feel entitled to get vocal about how the way we live and shouldn't be. Yeah, it's amazing when they raise taxes in our area. They're my understanding is there was a certain person who said, well, that off-grid guy out there, he's just paying lot taxes on an empty lot. Really? That's funny because, gee, I had the assessor assess me and switch me from abandoned agricultural to agricultural residential. Because I wanted that agriculture on there, but it's not abandoned anymore. And they've raised my taxes 3 times since I've been here. So, but why would you care if I was getting over? Man, my new neighbors, Misty and Alex, they're doing everything by the book that I've seen. But you know what? If I found out, well, they own 85 acres, but they're only paying taxes on 10. What can I say about that? Good on them. Get it over on the man. I mean, who cares? It's none of my business, is what I'm saying. They don't own that much, I don't believe, and they, like I said, they're doing everything above board. But who cares? That's your neighbor's business. Does it affect you? Well, it might in a small way. Well, I pay everything. I'm all on the up and up. So when that guy's lying to the Internal Revenue Service, it's him risking his butt to get shot because we've now armed all the IRS agents. So we have accountants walking around with guns now. But God forbid a former soldier walks around carrying one that's actually been trained. Anyway, but you know what I'm saying? Guys, I don't care if my neighbors get over. It's none of my business. I try to do things up and up for the most part, twice on Tuesdays. But if somebody else gets a better deal than me, good for them. Yeah, they don't realize where the meat in the stores comes from. Trevor was it Trevor telling me? Somebody was telling me that they had their grandkids with them and they were driving by and the kid pointed out the window and said, "Moo cow, moo cow." And they're like, "Yep, that's a moo cow." And then they were in the meat section of the store and she pointed at a steak and said, "Moo cow, moo cow." And I'm like, All right, Mom and Dad, you're doing it right. Oh, no, 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 no t-shirts. No t-shirts. Oh, goodness. Yeah, deer cross the road wherever they please. We put up the sign so that we people that are driving know. If you ever figure out how to tell a deer where to cross, let me know, because I'll tell them to cross right under my stand. Maybe just pick out a leader for them and have a meeting. I am so far behind. Point out the benefits of. Yeah, you could. Deer can't read? What? LMAO. The deer in my town have been seen looking both ways before crossing. I laughed. That is, yeah. They can understand, okay, this zone is dangerous. Those lights show up out of nowhere. It's either a leave early or stay forever kind of situation. The last thing I'd want is to get stuck in evacuee traffic. Yikes. Another reason yeah, absolutely. Fire Country. Yes. It had the guy who played Thanos on the Avengers. I believe it was him, played the lead firefighter, and they were, yes, that was a really good movie. Install an additional fuel cell. That's what I'm planning on, even just for the diesel for the tractor. Way more yeah, absolutely. Hey, Bushcraft family, how's it going? Welcome. I'm sorry I am so far back. Well, everybody in the woods, the game will be moving, okay? And the game can be moving fast. The deer, moose, or whatever, it gets really hard. But now you got some of those old bucks that have been around for a few seasons, and they know exactly where they can lay right down and watch you walk by. In my situation, I would have to figure out how far I could walk. I would be better off just sitting where I am and keep doing what I do. I just have to worry about those trying to take what I absolutely. And guys, make those decisions now. At what point will I defend my property? Okay. Defend your life when your life is threatened. Okay. That's, in my opinion, that is a given. At what point will I say, okay, if somebody's stealing from my garden, I will shoot them? I'm not saying I will, YouTube. I'm not saying I will, but at some point, what point will I have to be to get there? I've thought about it. I thought about the different things that you have to think. At what point in any given situation will I take a life to defend things that aren't my life? There was a time in America when it was perfectly acceptable to dispose of a chicken thief. Guys, personally, I'm not there. If somebody's stealing one of my chickens, I'll try to stop them. But at this point in time, I don't see a chicken being worth a life. I've taken a life before, and it takes a toll on you. In the military, Desert Storm, it's not something. Even the thought of taking life can Because my memories are all jumbled and of stories I've heard and all this other stuff. You lose track of what is going on, and it plays on you. Nice. I'm glad to hear that, Peter, that everything's going well. The deer hunt has been poorly managed here. When we moved here 8 years ago, there were easily 70 to 80 deer in the fields beside us. Now we're lucky to see 6 to 8. Yeah. The New York State has done a very decent job not of controlling the population of the deer, leaving enough to hunt, but at the same time they have decreased the amount of hunters because it's, to a lot of people, it's just not worth it to own a pew pew. I don't know why I'm saying pew pew now, because I've already probably said the G word several times, but they're making it so inconvenient to have a pew pew, to be able to practice with a pew pew. Guys, I got to tell you, I missed 3 out of 8 shots at 10 yards with my 9mm, my everyday carry gun, pew pew, my everyday carry pew pew. I missed 3 out of 8 shots at 10 yards on a metal plate. I think it's 6 or 8 inches metal plate. That's not good. Why? Because ammo has been so precious, I haven't been practicing. And I am a firm believer that if you are going to possess a pew pew in public legally, okay, you still have the responsibility to be very proficient, if not excellent, with that weapon. Because when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter where you are, but every round that goes down range, you own it. And that would be a horrible to have a bad guy nicked and an innocent person. That would be horrible. Now, I'm just saying we have responsibilities, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying the government needs to mandate more responsibilities. I'm just saying that we do have them, and we should impose them on ourselves and each other and those that we associate with. But yeah, I know chronic wasting disease took the deer populations down a lot. Hey, Rebecca, Touched by Yarn, welcome. Diving into dozer guards. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about there. Our fire in December was very eye-opening. It did reaffirm that my anxiety planning late at night is a solid thing that I shouldn't stop. Yeah. Run through scenarios, guys. Okay, I've come to the conclusion that the apocalypse that everybody's watched preppers, right? And there are some people with very intelligent plans and all that good stuff. But I don't think we are going to wake up one morning and boom, we're without rule of law. I don't think that's going to happen. I think more what's going to happen is we're going to wake up one morning and there are more restrictions on us. And then we'll wake up the next week and there are more restrictions on us and things are going to be getting a little more expensive. And then we wake up one morning and things are even more expensive. And then we wake up one morning and there are more restrictions on us because things are more expensive. I believe it's going to be gradual. But it's happening fast, all at the same, gradual, but fast. Does that make sense? Oh, in the desert, it is Nestle that takes all the water bottles and stuff. Yeah. And that's the thing, man. We can purify water like there's no tomorrow. But did you know your tap water in your house, if you're on well water, or more to the point, if you're on like community water or whatever, your tap water is more regulated than this water in here. This water in here could be worse than my tap water. And that's not a good thing. Oh, I've caught up to 7:01. Coliform. Coliform. Oh my goodness. No. No offense, but I don't want any shirt that I can't wear to church. Oh. And my nurse education's ears just perked up. We need to discuss your military background. Must be a story you've left out. Oh my. I do have a story, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not going there. Yeah. That little guy on my shoulder, every once in a while, he speaks up and says, "Shut up, Tracy." No. No, I do not have any social diseases other than a strong habit to Facebook. He needs to go out. See you later, Marcy. Half an hour ago. Oh. I don't think New Brunswick actually recycles. I tried to remember our recycling day, forgot, went to the landfill and was told to put it on the conveyor with it. Yeah, only 25% of the recycle, like where you have a recycle program, only 25% of recyclable refuge that is put in the recyclable bins gets recycled. And again, the larger, more first world countries take the brunt of it. We make all these promises that hurt our economy and everything else, while the other countries make millions and don't worry about it. It burns. Oh goodness, I can't believe coliform. Not the same thing. Yeah, the biggest challenge you're going to have in any situation is people, whether you evacuate or whether you stay in place. And you need to decide now, how you are going to respond to different things, such as somebody coming and saying, listen, I got my family back there on the road and they're hungry. Can you help me? Boom, man, I'm going to help them. How could I not? Somebody said, hey, you got food, you need to share it. They might not get fed so quick. But yeah, we got hit when I was a kid on White Lake, lost a wall off the house. 6 years ago, we got hit here on the farm, lost tons of trees. And then last summer, we got hit again. I have a lot of wood to clean. Yeah. Was it last summer or the summer before? We had a tornado. I didn't even know it. Wendy and I were up here in the house, and I didn't even know it. And my friend Matt calls and he says, hey, you guys make it through the tornado okay? I'm like, what are you talking about? And the actual town of Western had a tornado go through it, and it's fairly close, too close for having tornadoes. Yeah. Tornadoes hate mobile homes. That's absolutely right, Mark. By the way, hi, Mark. How's it going? We can sustain on a lot on what we have without power, but we do have a house generator. Yeah. Yeah. I have the 2 generators, but in my kitchen window over the sink, I have 1, 2, 3 oil lamps and 1 candle lamp. And I have the ability to make a lot more candles. You don't feel targeted. That's when okay, I remember what I said. Yeah. You're not targeted, Remy. I love you to death, man. On the farm here, taxes are almost $10,000 a year. We are a commercial property, and there are not a lot of businesses in Lanark County, so it's one of the highest tax townships in Ontario. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the way it seems to go. And I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook, and they had a thing about the rich not paying their fair share. And I said, well, I got an idea. Why don't we just have everybody pay 10% of their income directly in? Doesn't matter what you made. If you made $10 in a year, you give $1. If you made 100, you give $10. If you made 1,000 and on up, you give 10%. Everybody, no matter how much you made, then that would literally be fair. Number one, life isn't designed to be fair. It's just not the way God made it. But you ever have one of those thoughts run through your head and the rest of your thoughts follow it? But if everybody paid 10%, we would have so much money. And then nobody could complain because everybody would be paying the same. And he was like, well, the rich people won't let us do that. I'm like, no, the government won't let us do that. Which the government, let me, if you think the people in Washington, D.C. or honorary Canadian Ottawa, maybe is the capital. If you think that they are not the top 1%, that they don't have more money than most other people, then you are deluded, my friend. Because the people in Washington and Ottawa. I'm sorry. 90% of them are crooked. But Tracy, which 90%? Is it 90% of Republicans? 90% of them are crooked. Oh, but what about the libertarians? 90% of them are crooked. There was a senator or congresswoman, I'm not sure whether she is in the House or the Senate, but she said the very first day, Republicans and Democrats go to orientation together, okay? And they get the tours and they get learning procedure, all that stuff, all together. Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, and liberals together. Day 2, I believe it is, they meet with their party. And that is the last time that they all do anything together. After that, it's not about your constituents. They don't want it to be about your constituents. It's not about what you feel you can do for your state. It's what's good for the party. How many people had typing class? Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their party. Yes, I know I got into politics. I'm sorry, Richie. But yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to digress into politics, but guys, I'm really close. I was telling I think it was Tammy from Rebel Canners. I was telling her the other day that if it weren't for their foreign policy, I would be a libertarian. Libertarians as a party, or from what I know of them, they want to take care of the United States alone. And I'm kind of for that for the most part, except for Israel. If you bless Israel, God will bless you. If you curse Israel, God will curse you. If you leave Israel alone, now this part ain't scripture, but if you don't do anything with Israel, God won't do anything with you. Yep, the year we left Ontario, our taxes on 8 acres went to nearly $8,000. I don't know what my taxes are going to be this year here. I know they're going up. That's for that escrow guy. I don't know. When I signed my mortgage, when I did a mortgage for the land so that I could build the barn and stuff, they said some guy named escrow is going to take care of all that. So I'm doing well, Rebecca. I'm crazy. Absolutely. And I hope you're saying that in a funny way and that I did not offend you, because I don't want to offend nobody. My sheriff told us, well, the sheriff of Lewis County told us that on any given weekend night, now this is a couple years ago, things may have changed. And if you're in Lewis County, vote Sheriff Carpinelli, please. He's been a good sheriff. He's honest. He's an upstanding guy. I really like him. And I've talked to him on several occasions. Anyway, but he said that on any given weekend, Friday or Saturday night, there are 2 sheriff's patrols for the county and 1 state trooper for backup. So if all 3 of them are handling a huge domestic dispute, because there might be a little bling 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 in the Adirondack Mountains too, and all 3 of them are on the north part of the county. Well, the south part of the county, otherwise known as methamphetamine heaven. Yeah, taxes are. Did you know in the United States Constitution, a tax or tariff on wages was unconstitutional until I want to say the 40s or 50s or 60s? It's fairly recent. They had to amend the Constitution of the United States to tax your wages. You're welcome. I put a deer crossing sign near my feeder to attract more deer. Oh, I have a feed pile. It's got a sign of it over it that says, "This corn is for turkeys only. It is illegal in New York State to feed deer. Therefore, any deer found eating from this pile will be shot on sight." Justice in Canada is messed up. For example, this guy was stalking Alyssa and harassing both of us, hiding around the property and everything else. One night, he hit me. I defended myself, no weapon. And I almost got 2 years in jail. I have no. Wow. I am so sorry. Honestly, the USCCA, the United States Concealed Carry Association, I used to have their insurance, carry insurance is what it was. I would pay for Wendy and I both $20 a month, because if you are in a self-defense, a lethal force self-defense situation, chances are you are going to lose everything you own to try to save your freedom. Depending all on whether you have a liberal or a conservative as a district attorney. And when I say liberal, I mean a pro-gun or anti-gun. Let's go that way. District attorney. So you might be safe in one county and screwed in another. That is so sad that they don't want you to defend yourself. There are just some things you got to say, I will not comply. Now would be a good time for me to say the views and opinions stated by Tracy Hand are in no way reflective of the T Hand 141 Homestead channel. Life in the valley, the same thing almost happened to me. Guy threatened us, death threats, and nothing happened to him until he came here and jumped me. 3 guys were with him. My uncle came to help. They left, and then the cops told me I could get in trouble for yelling at them. Oh, I remember you telling me about that, Remy. Actually, there has never been a warning shot. That is never in the plan. And there is never shoot to wound, because then it could be argued that you were trying to cause pain and misery. When I was in the Army, we had a saying when we were on guard duty: don't let them testify to live. Don't let them live to testify against you. But guys, seriously, we don't ever want to hurt another human being. I mean, that's me being honest. It's just, yeah. They left for yelling at them. Oh yeah. See that the insurance, the USCCA insurance would cover your legal fees and your lawyer and provide you with a a lawyer that specializes in self-defense defense. Unfortunately, Mario, not was it Andy Cuomo, his one of his staff, one of his chiefs of, not chief of staff, the secretary of commerce, I think it was, outlawed it. Non-elected official trying to make laws, saying that it was literally paying for the defense of someone who commits murder, or paying for the defense of a murderer, of a criminal. Paying for the defense of a criminal. Have you ever heard of the Fifth Amendment? Have you ever heard Miranda rights? Oh, woo! If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you by the state. So we can't do that anymore. We can't provide a pro bono attorneys anymore, because that would be paying to help get a criminal off. Oh, idiots. Sorry, guys. You know, it all comes down to it is you be as smart, compassionate, and as wise as you possibly can. And let the cards fall where they may. The guy that slashed our tires got 2-year probation. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The world is crumbling around us. Yeah. I agree. Yes, Berkey filters are good. Now, I don't know. They just had a lawsuit against Berkey filters. I'm not sure what that was about. You might want to check into that. But I know I made my own Berkey filter with 2 5-gallon buckets and 2 Berkey black filters. At the time, it was $100 for 2 filters. Natural spring water. Yeah. Microplast. Yeah. The thing is I don't want to get sick. It's not like I'm the cleanest guy in the world as far as cleaning house. I had a Berkey. I did not like it. Made the water taste worse than the tap water. Did you rinse the filters out really good with the nozzle that they sent you first? Because you're supposed to run water through them for like 5 minutes. Berna? Hey, Patrick, how's it going? Tracy, you still have yourself protection. People disguise themselves. Yeah. I distill water. I can't drink the tap water here. Yeah. Distilling water is really the only way you're going to get pure water. I mean, it's literally purer than rainwater. Double distilled water is even better. The problem is in the United States, if you have a still, you have to have, even if you're just going to use it for water or to make your own fuel, you have to have a permit. Because they want the money, honey. Mavis Beacon teaches typing. And Mavis was the real OG. It was the only video game I was allowed. You know, they got the Oregon Trail back. I remember the Oregon Trail. That was a fun game, but you learned history and died of dysentery many times. Yeah. There was a gentleman a few years ago. I just got to stand up and stretch for a second, guys. There was a gentleman named Larry Sharp running for New York governor, and man, he had such good ideas. You know, like high school goes to 10th grade because 11th and 12th grade are all college prep. So you take the money that it would cost to put them through 11th and 12th grade and say, you want to go to a trade school? We'll pay for a trade school in the field that you want. You want to go to college? We'll put you through the normal college prep. Do you want to just go into the workforce? We will encourage people to hire you by giving them some of that money. Yeah. Well, welcome. Can I get a phonetic spelling of your name, Mr. or Miss Kenneth Pekirek? But welcome. I ended up getting into politics. We're supposed to be talking about escaping. If you got to bug out, have a plan. If you got to bug in, have a plan. Got to think about this stuff ahead of time because you don't want to be trying to make up rules, on the fly. Well, even if I'm an unmasked person, not here in Utah, I shut that crap down. I represent myself. Yeah. Criminals have more rights than law-abiding citizens. Yeah. Unfortunately, bail is an injustice. Guys, I have a t-shirt and it will be probably the first shirt down in my merch shelf, and it's the definition of woke. And please don't let me offend anybody in here, but woke describes a person who is who can find injustice that's stupid enough to find a person stupid enough to be able to find the injustice in everything except for their own actions. Not citizens, man and woman, we the people. Berkey leaking mercury into the water. Oh, man. Yes, I can. I can see your comments. It's just I'm way behind. I'm reading from 7. I've caught up quite a ways. Yeah, I fell way behind. I went on a tirade. I'm sorry. Guilty until proven innocent. Yeah. Unless you did something horrible. There have been a bunch of people in New York City that have killed somebody, got out of jail that night, and the next day they were back in your jail for, you guessed it, killing somebody else. Nanotechnology, yeah, it is. Okay. Because mine never had a taste. I mean, it just tasted like water through it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Personally, with a metal funnel, some copper wire, a bowl with some ice water, some tubing, you can make probably copper tubing would be best. You can make a water distiller awfully easy. And in the winter, I have my wood stove going all the time, so I could make a nice water still to purify water fairly easy. Let's start reforming. Yeah. Yeah. Just call me the whistleblower. Yeah. Oh man, I was watching I've been binging on the old show News Radio. And oh my goodness, go figure, Remy. They found out that the guy was actually the guy that the show's about, that runs the newsroom, was born in Canada, and it was a big deal. um, but yeah, apparently the guy who owns the business is a billionaire on the show, and he was Deep Throat, the guy from Whitewater or whatever. Not, was it Whitewater? Yeah. Watergate. That's what it was. Watergate. Yes, make a plan and make sure that the entire family knows what that plan is, where to meet if we aren't home, or, what to do, who to trust. Maybe have some resources in several different spots that only you and your family know about, so that they can get what they need if you can't get back together real soon. Contact numbers written, yes, absolutely. Because I can't, because I'm off grid. I don't have telephone lines coming to the house, but there are going to be an awful lot of the old rotary phones coming out when if there ever is a EMP or lightning strike. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm horrible at. I shouldn't have fell back so back. Oh, that's got to be Jack Snookums. The fires, I believe, were near Lindsay and Jack at Ren's family. They are all safe now. Jack, you get nicknames if you're on Facebook. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's all right. We're all like that. I have my days. I have my days. But I try not to get off topic too far, but I do. I chase rabbits. I want to be self sufficient here on the farm. One thing I'm doing is planting more evergreens so you can't see lights at night in here in the way. Yes, that's a very good idea. Wendy and I had the plan, because we did build the house south facing with windows for during the day. We don't need any lights, but I want to get the plan was always to get blackout curtains. But then she started putting up solar lights everywhere, so I'm like, well, what does it matter? They can see us from space. Yeah, I want to build a green after the barn. My next build is a greenhouse, but I think I'm going to do it as a porch on the front of the house, so that I can I can get some heat to it. But I also want to be ready to leave. Worst case, one thing for fires. I'm cleaning all the underbrush for fires and making a break around the. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I right now, on my east side, the driveway side, I want to push the wood line back away from the driveway by about 20 feet, and that'll give me enough. Oh no. What happened? Yeah, getting separated and getting back together is very important. Yeah, the lumber yard would be hard. Um, yeah, my grandma has what she calls a sunroom, all windows, and its own furnace for nice, very nice. Oh yeah, nice place to just sit and relax and drink your coffee in the morning with no bugs or mosquitoes. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm being invaded. Hey guys, I would be remiss if I did not mention. See, Angie made me this block of wood with my logo on it. I have a sticker wall here, guys. Off the grid, that's mine. T-Ham 141 Homestead, off the grid in the 21st century. Thorhaven Farm, Back to Basics Homestead, that's Annie. Rem's Family Farm, that's Remy. Bucket List Homestead, that's Lynn. Handsteaders Live Free, that's if you do join the membership either on the YouTube channel or subscribe to the blog, you get access to the Handsteaders Facebook page, where I release a lot of extra content and stuff like that. Rebecca Touched by Yarn again, just doing our best. Old Man King Homestead, Peter, Barb's Country Home, and Rambling with the Brooms. If you guys have a sticker, that's free advertisement for anybody, for the, tens of people that watch my channel, watch my live. Here it's all stuff from tornadoes. Too big, yeah. Too big for the goats to eat. The ice storm did a number too. Oh, nice. Pigs are nice. I have a pig feeder. If you watch that video, or just send me an email saying I'd like the pig feeder plans, I can email you the pig feeder plans. It's automatic 55-gallon drum pig feeder. It holds, I want to say, 450 pounds of pig feed. And it's got covers on it so that they lift. They'll take their nose once they learn it's there, and they'll lift those flaps up, and they can get it. But then when they're not on it, the rain runs right off. Just email me with a request for that. But guys, I've been on here for 2 hours. Holy moly. I don't know if Darren from Thorhaven Farm might be going live tonight. It's hard because it's so light out now that I know a lot of people are still working outside. It's just been so hot lately that I haven't done a whole lot. I planted some in the garden. I planted kale, beans, onions, garlic, transplanted my tomato plants. I have my celery outside going now. I have broccoli, and I'm starting the seeds for broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of wildlife has been displaced with these fires. All right, Vay, we'll see you later. But yeah, life in the valley, you're gonna love pigs. They are smart and funny to watch. Tomorrow at 3:15, my video on the Piggly Wiggly party, I think I called it, something like that. It'll be coming out at 3:15 tomorrow afternoon. And they're just so cute. And if that does well, then I have, well, I think I've gone through about an hour and a half of a 9-hour recording. I just set the GoPro out there and let it go. And it was really nice to do because I just scanned through it until I saw a pig. And then I'd stop it and go through and find the most interesting parts, zoom in or whatever that I had to do in the editing program. And it was real easy. It's real calming, the sound of the birds and watching them shovel with their nose. Well, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Y'all have a great day. Remy tomorrow night has a live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern. Saturday is Lynn on, no, Lynn's on when, I think Lynn's on Wednesday or Tuesday, Bucket List Homestead. Annie on Back to Basics Homestead is on Sunday evening. I've missed the last two. Gotta stop that. Yeah, so Rem's Family Farm tomorrow night. Thor might be later tonight at 8 p.m. Oh, that would be now. He might be starting now. But all right, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go. Y'all have a great and wonderful day. God is always good. And God bless.